Parents, your children now or in the next few days, they're going to be on holidays. They're going to be off school. They're going to be off for 4 or 5 or 6 weeks, however long they have. It is not the iPad or the telephone's responsibility to look after your kids. It is not the television's responsibility or the masjid's responsibility to give your children the tarbiyah that you should be giving to them. It is your responsibility to look after your children. And if you can't look after them, then you shouldn't have had them. Because it's an amana from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And a test for which you will be held accountable. And so in this time, give your children the knowledge that they need. Give them the tools that they need. First, my brothers, teach them about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For there is no knowledge which is better or more beautiful or more magnificent or more perfect than the knowledge of Allah and the knowledge of the Tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are some key words that you need to be teaching your children about. Tawheed. What is Tawheed? You need to learn it and you need to teach it. So that your child understands Tawheed. Your child understands that Allah is ever living. He has no beginning and He has no ending. That He's not like His creation in any way, shape or form. He is perfect and free from all kinds of imperfection. That Allah Jalla wa Ala has names and attributes by which we know Him in the Quran and in the Sunnah, and they are attributes of complete perfection that befit His majesty and His perfection. So that when Iblis comes to him and says, who made this, who made this, who made this, who made Allah? Your child has the ability to say, this is not what is correct. My Lord has no creator. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. And he just understands the basics of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Teach him the basics of the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Because there are children today who they say we only follow the Quran. They call themselves Quraniyun and they reject the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And so they're on a path of kufr in reality. And so we need to teach them about the sunnah, the position of the sunnah. We need to teach them about who was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. My brother, pick up a simple book of seerah. And every evening, just read a couple of pages to your kids. Read a couple of pages to your children. You will gain knowledge, I promise. But at the same time, your children will gain knowledge. Your children will learn about their Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. How he never got to meet his father. How his mother died when he was just 6 years old sallallahu alayhi wasallam. How he went into the care of his grandfather Abdul Muttalib for a couple of years, and then when he was 8 years old, his grandfather died. Then he went into the care of his uncle, and how he was an orphan, how he grew up, how he was a shepherd and he earned for his money. He didn't live off handouts. He was a young man who grew up and he was of the highest of character, the highest of morals. How Allah, when he was 40 years old, how Allah Jalla wa Ala revealed to him and he became the mercy to all of the worlds. How even before prophethood, there were signs of his prophethood and how he was honored by Allah and protected by Allah. There are so many wisdoms, ikhwani fillah, in the seerah of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But not only will they learn about that, do you know what they're going to learn? Wow, my dad actually has time for me. My dad actually has time for me. Because normally dad comes home from work and he's tired and he just sits on his phone and he comes in and he eats and then he turns on the television. And it's like I don't even exist in his world. And you will see the changes within your child. Because currently we are neglecting our children. Currently we are abandoning our children. So spend some time with them because they are the generation of tomorrow, my brother. When you die, they're the ones that are going to make dua for you if you teach them to make dua for you. But if you don't, my brother, They're going to throw the dust on your face and they're going to move on with their life, and you are just a forgotten about heap of bones. And nobody will make dua for you. Nobody will give charity. Nobody will continue on your legacy. Nobody will do that. And so teach them and seek that knowledge.